Xbox, I blame you. You just couldn't help yourself. You just had to be so bad and so ass at everything you do to the point where you allowed your competition free real estate. You see, back in the good old days, when the grass on the land was green, it would always be at odds with the sea. While the sea was indeed vast and powerful, the grass was stable and immovable. While both of these forces of nature aspire to have complete dominance over the other one, they both respected each other's power and stayed in their place. This allowed for the world to be in balance. Everything was absolutely fine until you allowed a bunch of dumbass kids to run all over the fucking lawn, killing the vegetation and allowing PlayStation to hit the fucking tsunami button. All of you motherfuckers that like to scream out fake woke ass shit, y'all see why diversity is important, right? Xbox, bro, get off the Game Pass, bro. Look at what they doing over here. The PS5 for me has been the most educational console out of any generation. It has taught me so much about these businesses and the schemes that they're constantly trying to pull. First, it was the increase on the AAA prices. Second was taking away PlayStation Now to give us PlayStation Premium. And now we got this, the PS5 Pro for $700. Whew, man, we are getting closer and closer to that $1,000 mark. Now, obviously, if you already have a PS5, there is absolutely zero incentive to buy this. You can tell that they put barely any effort to the upgrades. Like, even the fucking design is lazy. They just put a fucking line through that shit and charge you $200 extra. I think this PS5 Pro is the beginning of the end of an era. The end of the console era, because these consoles are slowly starting to lose what made them special. The main aspects on consoles that they always try to sell you on every new generation is the graphics, but they're slowly starting to lose that selling point because the generational improvements are getting smaller every time. The main improvement from the PS4 and the PS5 in the first place was the frame rate. Everything else that they try to sell you is a nothing burger, because the reality is good graphics come from people that make the games, not the people that make the consoles. You can have the best quality of art supplies in the biggest canvas, but if the painter is bad, it won't matter. This is why in each console generation we only get like 2 to 4 epic Mickeys, 2 to 4 games with graphics that are so good that it smokes half of the catalog of the generation preceding it. This is the disconnect that I'm starting to see more and more with PlayStation. They really think people care about this minuscule shit that they talking about. Like this supposed big three that they was trying so hard to push in their presentation. If you look at these, it's like, bro, GPU, ray tracing, AI, nigga, what is this? PC? This is computer terminology that most console players do not care about unless you actually show them a significant graphical difference, which they of course fail to do. And here is where the disconnect between Sony and their own product lies. This is not the big three. The real big three that they should be worried about, and this goes for every console, is accessibility, affordability, and exclusives. These are the main 3 elements that have stopped people for years and for generations from converting to the PC religion. But unfortunately, in modern times, PlayStation has only been able to keep one of the big 3. And that one being accessibility, the most basic shit that they needed to get down. But I can't say the same for the other 2. The prices is almost PC level, and the exclusives come out on PC in the next 2 years. So even if I didn't have a PS5, why the fuck would I want to get a PS5 Pro? There's no logical reason anymore because the corporate greed is just too excessive. And that's all it really is. They can make excuses like games are getting more expensive to make and hardware all they want to, but I'm starting not to believe that. Wasn't the PS3 back in 2006 $600? Y'all tried this shit before. You would think they would have been learned their lesson. But I guess history is doomed to repeat. Sony is going through a identity crisis in front of our very eyes. Just like when the Xbox One was trying too hard to be a streaming service, the PS5 Pro is trying too hard to be a pre-built PC. But we all know, when you try to be something that you're not, it will backfire. The main reason why the world fell in love with PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo is because they were not PCs. They were gaming systems. But what they mainly seem to be worried about nowadays is fancy specs. As a retired PlayStation glazer, when it comes to the PS5 Pro and even the fucking PS6, they gonna have to really show me something in order to get me back on board. Because the fact that the PS5 was so hard to get on release date, just for its lineup to be the weakest compared to its predecessors, I'm starting to feel like I don't want to go blue anymore. You really thought you were doing something here. But the only thing you've actually done was give your enemies a golden opportunity to come and smack the fuck out of you. And I hope they do so you can learn your damn lesson. I hope that Nintendo Switch 2 goes crazy. And Xbox, you need to get your ass back in there too. That Hellblade 2 y'all made was not cooking. So here's what you gotta do. Make Doom the Dark Ages exclusive. Remake the Ninja Gaiden games. And please, bring back that... If you do those three things, I'll go green right now. So I bought this Black Myth Wukong game for one purpose only. To see if he can actually beat the God of War. And after beating the game, I gotta say, I am not impressed. I just don't see how everybody is so convinced that this monkey ass nigga can fuck with the Ghost of Sparta. Like, come on, bro. What are we even talking about right now?